Hello everyone, welcome to SQL Repository. I am Saras Pandey and this is the continuation session on writing a meaningful script using PowerShell, and in this we are going to write a script to take the backups of the databases on your SQL Server instance. So this is going to be a complete script which will take care of most of the aspect of backups, and it is going to use functions, it is going to use workflows, parallelism, and it is going to use a lot. So you will get to learn a lot about PowerShell. If you just know the basics, this is the right place. You can improve your knowledge on PowerShell via these videos, and this is going to be the series of videos where I will cover this script, and this is not complete yet, so I'm gonna write this script along with you, and we will create a complete script to take SQL Server backups. Okay, so the first part is the comment. So if you have to comment in PowerShell and it is single line, you can just go ahead and use hash. So let me open another tab, and if I'll write something, this script can be used to take backups of SQL Server databases. So if I want to comment this, I can just use hash, but this can be used only if I have single line comment. But if I have multi-line comment, then I will have to start the comment using less than sign and then hash, and then where I want to finish my comment, I will have to use hash then and the greater than sign, and whatever will be enclosed by these two signs, it will be considered as comment, and PowerShell is just gonna ignore that. It is not, it will not go ahead and try to run or consider it as a part of commands. Okay, so this is about comment. Now come down, and here you can see the parameters. So these are the input parameters. So I have four input parameters here, which are DB name, base path, backup type, and server instance. Okay, so let's discuss the parameters first. So here you will have to use the keyword param to define the parameters. Then you will have to open a bracket and then the keyword parameter, and it's kind of function where you can pass on few values also, like if I want to make these parameters mandatory, then I can write mandatory oops mandatory is equals to true. So it means this parameter is mandatory and you will have to pass the value of this parameter, otherwise it is going to throw the error. Okay, so we'll try to run this, and we'll see if what will happen if we will not pass any value to this db name parameter. Okay, also we can define the position, like if I want to give this parameter the position 2, and let's say I want to give this parameter, which is server instance position 1. So let me give the position as 1, and for the db name the position is 2, and let all these parameters be mandatory because I need all of them. I need the value of all of them. So I'm gonna make this 3 and this one 4. Okay, so I've defined the position of the parameters, and I've also made them mandatory. It is not required. If you will not define that, then it will in whatever order you will write those parameters, it will take that order, and if you will not write mandatory is equals to true, then it will not consider it as mandatory input parameter. But if you will use those parameters into your script, and you will not pass any value, maybe it will have null value and you are gonna get the error. Okay, so it is always a good practice to define those mandatory parameters with mandatory is equals to true, so that it will throw the error at the starting and it will not try to run the script if the required input values are not available. Okay, so let me actually copy this and go to this folder and create one more script file. So I'll say backup um, one, or you can give any random name, but it is always good to give a meaningful name. Backup one is not so meaningful, but that's okay, it is just for the sake of video. And I'm gonna change the extension to ps1. Okay, so this is the Windows PowerShell file now. Now if I'll open a new tab and try to access this file, try to run this file. So this is the location and the file name is backup-1.ps1. So it will suggest me the file names. So I'll select this file, and if I'll give hyphen, so you can see the DB name, base path, backup type, and server instance, right? So I'll give the DB name, and DB name, let me give this database name. Then you have the base path. So I'm gonna use the same path which I have here. So this is the base path, and then I have the backup type. I'm gonna give full, and then server instance, it is gonna be localhost. Okay, if I'll go ahead and execute this script, let me actually go ahead and clear this screen. And if I'll execute this, it has completed without doing anything, because if you look at the script, I did not do anything here, right? It is not supposed to do anything, and this is why it was completed right away. But let's do one thing. Just write few of the messages to the host. So let me copy this. And if you are not aware of write host, this is the command that we use to write some output to the host, and in this case it will write to the output here in the lower window. Okay, so this is the new script file. So I'll copy this, and I'll go to this path and edit this file and change this script. So it is still not doing a lot. It is just taking the input parameters, and then it is gonna use write host command to write this string, and then it will write all the input parameter values that I will provide. It is just a write host command. It is not going to do anything other than printing the output. Okay, so let me go ahead and save the file. And now if I'll go and execute this command, this time you can see it has printed this string, and then the DB name, whatever I've passed here. So mint, and the path, the backup type, and the server name. Okay, server name I have given localhost, so it has printed localhost. If I would have given the server name or the IP, it would have printed the same here. So nothing special here, very easy part. But now we know how to define the parameter and how to write some values to the host. Okay, so far so good. Let's move and look at the next part of it. So here what I'm doing is I'm preparing a string from the current date to append this date string in my backup files. Okay, so let me copy this and tell you how exactly it works. So here, oops, not in this window. So here if I'll paste and I'll just execute this command, you can see that it has created a string here with a current date and time, right? So this you can use to append the current date time in the backup file name, which is always good. And what I'm doing here is this is a variable, and in this variable I am assigning this value so that I can just go ahead and use this variable here to append the current date time in my backup files. Okay, so this part was easy. This is not there is nothing special in that. But if you are not aware about the formatting of the dates in PowerShell, so let me go ahead and cover a bit for you. So if I'll run this command get date, it will print the current date and time for me. But this is not the format that I can append in my backup files. So for this, what I've used toString dot to string, and here I've given the format in what format I need the data. If I'll say just dd, then it will just take the date. If I'll say ddmm, and for month it is always capital M. So just make sure that you are using capital M. If you use small m, it will consider it as the minute part of the time. So let me go ahead and execute this. So it is 6th of Feb. This is what you are getting here. And if I'll say YY, now you are getting the complete date, but you don't have the time. But let me use an underscore, and then if I'll say HH, then it is gonna give, use the current R part of the time, which is 02. And then if I'll use small m, it will also use the minute. If I'll use SS, then it will use seconds as well, but I don't want to go down to that level. But if you want, you can always use SS also, and it will use the second part of it as well. Okay, so let me remove this. But now we know how to create the current date time string. So we will use that to append the current date time to our backup files, which is always good. Backup file should always tell when exactly it was taken, right? Okay, so let's move to next part of the script. So here I've used one if else condition. So let me actually first copy it. So here what I'm doing, so as you know that DB name is one of the input parameter, and whenever I'll give any particular database name, it will take the backup of that database. But what if I want to take the database backup of all the DBs? Then for this, in that case, I will have to pass all as DB name, and then it will go inside this if condition. Because if you look at the condition here, if DB name equal all, then go inside this. So this is how you compare in PowerShell using hyphen equal. You cannot use equal to sign here because that's a assignment operator here. Just to tell you what exactly the assignment operator. So if I'll say $a is equals to 1, it will assign the value 1 to $a. Okay, so if I'll try to print this, write host $a. Here you can see it has written 1 because 1 has been assigned to this variable with the name A, and equal to has worked as an assignment operator. So it's an assignment operator. This is why you cannot use equal to sign here. Rather, you will have to use hyphen equal. Okay, so far so good. Then I have this invoke SQL CMD, which is part of SQL PS module. And here I'm using invoke SQL CMD, the server instance where I'm passing this input parameter, server instance. The database name, I'm using the master DB here because I'm just running a command on sys.databases. And here I'm selecting the name from sys.databases. So these are nothing but the database names where the state descending is online, because you cannot take the backup of those databases. Those are not readable. So if the database is offline or they are not readable, then you cannot take the backup of those DBs. So this is why it is always important to take those database only where the state descending is online. And I'm also excluding the databases TempDB, and if you have, then distribution DB as well, because you cannot back up TempDB, right? Okay, so in case of all, it will just dump all the database names in this to this variable, which is databases, right? And otherwise, if I've given any specific database name, then if condition will become false because DB name is not equal to all. in that case it will go inside else, because now else is true. And here I've written a query, select name from sys.databases, where state descending is equals to online and name is equals to, I am taking the name from the DB name parameter. So I've enclosed this single quote inside those double quotes, so that the DB name, whatever value has been given to DB name, it will come, it will be enclosed inside the single quote, because this is how SQL Server works. You will have to keep all these strings inside inside single quote. So let me go ahead and actually comment this out, and I'm just printing this query, whatever query you have constructed here. I just want to print that. So let me copy this entire command and update the file here. Okay, so I've updated the file, and at the end I will also print the value of this databases parameter. Sorry, not the parameter, it's variable in PowerShell. So whatever, if it will go inside if or else, whatever the value has been assigned to this variable, I want to see that. And I also want to see the type of this variable. So for this I will use databases dot get type, and it will return the type of this variable, what kind of variable it is. Okay, so you will understand this in a bit. So let me save it, and let me remove this, clear the screen, and here I'm gonna run this command. First I will use all. So in case of all, this if condition will be true, and it will go inside this and fetch the name of all the databases which are online, and it will exclude the temp DB and distribution database. Okay, and then it is gonna print the type of this variable, which is databases, and also the value assigned to it. So let me go ahead and execute this. So you can see that it has printed all the database names, and for the type of this variable, the type is object. So it's a object type variable. It's not a string, it's not a integer, it's an object, because it's kind of table, right? So it's kind of a system array. So this is why the type of this variable is object. Okay, so now I will change this DB name, and I will give the specific database name, and I will clear this screen, execute it again, and this time you can see, okay, you cannot call a method on null valued expression. So there is some problem. Let me go back to the script, and as I've commented this out, this is why there is no value that has been assigned to this variable, and this is why it is a null value parameter. So this is why I'm getting the error. So let me uncomment this, save this. It will also print the query for me. So let me go back and clear this screen, and then go ahead and run this command again. And this time you can see it ran without any error, and you can see this query here. So select name from sys.databases, where state descending is online and name is main. Now you may say that why do you want to capture this database name into database variable, because it's a specific database and you already have this database name in the DB name parameter. So you're right, but you still want to check few things, like I can give any name here. I can just say ABC, but this is not a database in my SQL instance. So there has to be something that will check if this DB exists or not, and also if that database is online or not. You can take the backup of this database or not, right? So it is still important to check these things, and this is why I have kept this else condition here, which will do this for me. Okay, so far so good. We have verified and gathered the database name as per our input parameters. So now we have the DB names, so we are ready to take the backups, right? No, we still have to do a lot to make it complete script. And from here, I'm gonna discuss this script further in my next video. But thank you for watching this video.